Thank you so much for coming. Najeeb Ghauri is his name. And of course, NTWK is his ticker symbol, netsoltech.com. NETSOL is the name of the company. It is so good to see you. And what's interesting is your value proposition and what you guys are doing as a leader in AI-powered solutions for, and I'll let you take it from here, because we're talking OEMs, dealerships. You're helping people sell, is what you're really doing.
Absolutely. First of all, thank you again, Solis, for inviting me. It was a pleasure to drive here because I really enjoyed last time when I was there 2 years ago.
And I'll tell you, when it happened last time, everything you said was going to happen in your business has happened. And it happened faster than you said. So I'm going to let you review again what you guys do for the folks who don't remember seeing him on the air. But talk about what you guys are doing.
Okay. We are a pure technology company. We've been around for 25 plus years. We support the biggest auto finance sectors globally. China is our biggest market. US is the second biggest market. We're growing. So what we do is basically our product, which is to support leasing and finance businesses, powered by now AI.
Okay, so when you, just so I understand, when you're talking about leasing and finance, okay, you're talking about when we're in that little room signing our papers and they're hitting the button on the computer, you guys are the backbone that does that. Is that accurate?
Pretty much.
Okay.
So we basically deal with auto finance companies. Okay? And if you can imagine the size of the market, it's quite huge. China is our biggest market. US is the giant, which we are now penetrating. So it has an amazing, I think, opportunity to grow the business because despite the fact that we are so many years in the business, there's still a lot to grow because the market is growing. And it's a multi-trillion-dollar market worldwide, and it's a hundreds of billion-dollar market in auto sector.
Okay, so which makes sense because you remember it was called the 9-line form or something back in the day. We had to remember you'd be in the finance office and you're leasing a car or buying a car and
pages and pages.
And so now you have given an infrastructure to that and a backbone to that. Where does AI come into this? Because when we had you last, it was sort of scratching the surface, but now it's become a pretty big part of what you guys are heading towards, correct?
Yeah. So look, the best part of this whole business is the ecosystem we have. That is the best talent we have. The software programmer, engineers, now they're AI equipped, powered with the new technology and new ideas. So the talent pool is the main thing. They're the one who are cutting codes, designing system, making software, implementing all the finance companies wherever they are. And to give you a classic example is that China, for example, we have 25 auto finance companies, multinational. We have 20 of them.
So you're talking about finance companies in China?
Yes, auto finance companies.
You're talking about auto finance companies in the country of China. Has anyone ever thought about that? Have you
No.
ever thought about the citizens of China, the amount of people there, and they need cars just like we do, and they're all paying cash for cars?
You hit the nail on the head. I tell you why. 25 years ago, when we started doing our business, China only had one finance company, which was Mercedes-Benz back then, exactly 2004. And so we were the first one who introduced finance companies concept, the technology to support the finance companies. So we are the middle piece, the engine that drive finance company business.
If you think in terms of the engine, you start thinking in terms of if you buy a Ford, or you buy a Chevy, or you buy a BMW. Yeah. It always says on the paper their name. Are you plane wrap? Are you letting them license the technology, or are you actually doing the technology?
Technology.
No kidding.
We're not in leasing business. We are financing leasing software.
Najeeb Ghauri is the director and CEO of NETSOL Tech. NETSOLtech.com is a website. Their ticker symbol NTWK. What's it like dealing with the Chinese government? I mean, are they sitting there going,
you have to have boots on the ground? I mean,
yeah, where's our
that's
piece?
the next question, sure.
Well, you know, interesting. I'm proud to say we're quite well known in China. We actually, when I was in Beijing last year in October, we met the government of Tianjin, which is a big growing tech sector hub actually, and they give a lot of respect. They appreciate the fact that we are the only company in this space for auto finance companies using our software to run the multi-billion-dollar business. So it's a pretty good position for us to be in China.
What is there? So when you're doing financing, what's the interest rate like?
We don't do financing.
There's no
We
financing.
provide the software, the technology to.
No, I'm just talking about as a country. When
well, I mean, it could vary, you know.
Because you know what that smells like to me? It smells like capitalism.
Yeah.
It was like free market economy.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, we're talking about China, right?
Yeah.
That didn't exist before.
Yes.
Now, I realize you're not the finance company, you're the backbone, but I'm saying the people that are filling little boxes there are saying, this is your interest rate, this is the amount, this is your monthly
We have
payment.
the whole application, the whole plan, you know.
So you were talking about that being in that little room, and it gives me the anxiety to think about because it's hours that we used to spend in there. So what you're doing, you're speeding up that process, right? And making it so we're not there for 4 hours.
But Mary, a clipboard and a wave will get you through any door in any city.
I'm always the one that carries the clipboard.
Okay.
You know me.
I get to see it. I get through any door. The same time is if you take that philosophy, I would call up probably when I was 30 years old, okay? Just make it in the world. I would call and say, hey, I'm not coming down there. I'd call the last day of the month, but this is how I think. I know the hamster wheel is different here. It is. Last day of the month, I call it 6 p.m. Now, what does that mean for salespeople, Mike?
Got it.
They
Whatever
wanna
it
get home.
takes.
It's the last day of the month. It's,
Make
they
their
get their numbers
quota.
in.
Oh, yes.
They're going to cut a deal.
Yep.
I call like it's maybe 5 p.m. No, they close at 9. Last day of the month, okay? Call up and I ask for the sales manager. Look, I'm buying a car today, whether it's for you or somebody else. I'm not coming down there. Here's what I got. Okay, let me fax over. What's your pager number? let me fax over the 5-liner, whatever. Filled it out. And the point was, not many people think that way, and that's why one of the reasons that you're successful as far as.
So if you just to further simplify, just imagine you're an auto finance company, right?
Yeah.
Your job is to sell and lease cars, right?
Sure.
We are the middle piece to help facilitate that transaction.
But it's expedient, though.
Yeah.
Also, that's a bit which is what
100%.
she was getting to. It's not just a matter of having the AI technology. It's not just having something bigger, better, faster, stronger, cheaper. It's also the fact that you really are
Yeah.
kind of the peak of efficiency in probably the most inefficient market.
Right.
So let me ask you this. All of us use digital currency because we all have the same $40 in our pocket, unless we're tipping somebody, right? We use our credit cards, we use our phone, we use electronic currency. There's this thing under the new digital currency, which we're going to see in the next 5 to 7 years, that is run by the blockchain. Blockchain is the infrastructure that runs that. When that happens, when I buy a car, I'm going to hand you the money, you're going to hand me the car, or I'm going to hand you $1, you're going to hand me a potato. There's no middleman involved in that thing. I know that you and I talked this before about that doesn't really change your world, does it? Because financing is still going to be financing. There's still going to have to be an infrastructure to do that financing, and it probably accelerates what you're doing.
Exactly.
Because of the fact that it's more simple for peer-to-peer transactions versus having a broker in the middle.
Be a way to buy cars?
What's that?
Sorry, go ahead.
But we also, since we met last time, about 2 years ago, we have now advanced to mobility, digital transaction in the US market. For example, I'll give you a classic example. We supported the finance companies. Then we pivoted on top of what we're doing with the finance companies, auto finance companies all over the world. Now we have a digital platform. What it does is, and the best way to explain you is give you an example in the US. 2 years ago, we implemented with the digital retail with the USA.
I remember.
350 dealerships are now being connected with our platform.
Right, and you were right at you were on-ramping that the last time we spoke.
And it's so beautiful that we spend a lot of time, invested a lot of time in bringing AI into that, powered with AI technology, so that it's more speedy, efficient, cost-saving, improving your balance sheet, employees are doing better. So it's got new tools and new setup to really move things fast. See, the digital thing is really the key right now for us.
I think so too, and I think the other piece of it too that people need to understand is that right now car dealerships are really a broker for you to get that type of car. They're going to be an on-ramp versus being a broker. It's a lot different.
Yeah.
It means it'll lower prices, it'll lower transaction, but it's never going to.
It's very competitive.
But it's going to increase your business because it's going to be more accessible, and meaning because those types of cars are going to be down. They're going to be down in price. Last of all, before I let you get out of here, first of all, you got to come back. I need you for a whole hour. You know that.
Yeah, no more.
I love you. I'll keep coming back.
Yeah, you come back. I want to know what happens in your world, in the world when self-driving cars start becoming a reality. Does that change anything in terms of your liability, in terms of with respect to how many cars you can, or how many dealerships you can handle, how many different verticals you can handle, or are you guys?
Personally speaking, sorry, I don't like self-serving car.
Me neither, but I'm telling, but it's coming.
It's risky, but it's happening, you know.
Well, there's no human error, which is what the argument is. The argument is that there's no.
That's the example, you know.
Right, but that's just so. How big can you expand and how fast can you expand? I guess is the real question.
Well, I think, look, when you have established name like NETSOL with the best engine, the technology, the artificial intelligence, the AI thing is now empowered with AI. We're looking at the future. We're not just using the old technology. We've really moved on, pivoted from old technology to the new technology. So I think we always will remain relevant in the industry. And we'll keep bringing new ideas that will make us stronger and really make a value proposition for our customers.
I'll tell you, his name is Najeeb Ghauri, one of my favorite people, one of my favorite guests. I want you for a whole hour because what I want to know is when you start being the infrastructure for real estate transactions.
Oh boy.
Because you could. The technology's there.
Buy NTWK.
NetSolTech.com is the website, ticker symbol NTWK. Director, CEO, Najeeb Ghauri. Always great to see you, sir.
I want to take a picture of this.
You got it.